A campus demonstration saw some students get together over the Israel-Palestinian conflict, this time in front of Old Main.
The opening of 2 new dorms adds 1,000 new beds on campus, but what's it like to live in a brand new place?
I really like that it's a new hall. I think that's kind of fun, just because the bathrooms aren't like super nasty.
And if you ever wondered what inspires people to write new music, come on down to Cheatham Street Songwriter Circle for the secret to songwriting. Hi, and welcome to Bobcat Update. I'm Kaylee Crook.
And I'm Luciana Schwery. We're glad you could join us. The day after the election last week, 2 men visited campus to share some controversial opinions.
And that did not go over well with some students. Luciana, it kind of escalated quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, it really did. The 2 men arrived around noon on Wednesday and went to the free speech area with some provocative signs. That quickly drew a crowd. Early last week, 2 demonstrators showed up right here on campus, holding signs, reading misogynistic and homophobic messages. But Texas State students weren't having it. They showed up in hundreds to counter protests and drown out the hate. 2 individuals stood at the Stallion statue last Wednesday holding 2 signs. One reading "Homosex is sin," the other "Women are property." In less than 30 minutes, hundreds of students gathered around them in opposition. One of those students was Brady Headley, who believes it isn't a coincidence that the demonstration took place just 1 day after former President Donald Trump was re-elected into office.
Me and my friends are assuming these people were emboldened by the events of last night's election. So there's a lot of people who are really not cool with these people throwing out some harmful rhetoric like this. People here who know women aren't really cool with women being referred to as property by these protesters.
University police and members of Texas State's Expressive Activity Group were also in attendance to make sure no physical violence took place. The 2 demonstrators were allowed to be on campus in accordance with both Texas State's free speech policy and the First Amendment, of course. But students chased the protesters through Derrick Hall and all the way down to the Aspire apartments, where they were escorted away by police. Right down here at the Aspire apartment complex is where the 2 demonstrators were escorted off campus by the university police. The 2 demonstrators were part of a Christian news outlet called the Official Street Preachers. Earlier that day, on November 7th, these 2 same individuals were at UTSA spreading the exact same message. In the following days, Texas State students showed up and showed out, spreading a different kind of message of love and unity. And Texas State President Kelly Damphus released a statement condemning the message portrayed by the 2 demonstrators. And now, Damphus is looking at pursuing potential legal action. I'm Luciana Schwery, reporting with Kaylee Crook for Bobcat Update.
Wow, that crowd was pretty intimidating, following them around campus.
Yeah, I was running up and down. It was pretty intense. It's great that everyone behaved and just shared words with each other. It has been a really active semester for protests, though, and we're seeing more this week.
Students supporting Palestinians met for another gathering this week. This time, it was in front of Old Main. Dozens of students gathered in front of the campus icon to protest the ongoing Israeli military action in Gaza. The Israeli actions are a response to an attack by Hamas on Israel last October. Some students from UT Austin are planning a demonstration up in Dallas that may last all weekend. They're going to protest the Jewish National Fund. The JNF was founded a century ago to raise money to help Israelis set up new settlements in what is now Palestinian territories. The UT students associated with the Palestinian Solidarity Committee plan to be outside the hotel trying to disrupt the conference from Thursday through Sunday. I-35 has always been known as the interstate with constant construction.
Yeah, that's true, and a huge new project isn't going to help end that reputation. The Texas Department of Transportation is starting on a huge new project through downtown Austin that will have an impact bigger than just the highway. The plan is to take away the upper deck, add some lanes, and put part of it underground. The idea is to reconnect East and West Austin. The City of Austin reports that this Capital Express project will cost $5 billion or more and will take years. There's a lot of construction on another major road in Austin, State Highway 290, just west of Mopac. Highway 290 for years has slow to stop and go traffic heading west, especially in the afternoons. This is near where 290 meets Highway 71, a spot known as the Y at Oak Hill. TxDOT reports that this major new construction would extend the elevated highway west past William Cannon Drive, which is a couple of miles past where it ends now. There will also be a new intersection at 4 major cross streets after elevated highway ends. We've been telling you all semester about Cibolo and Alamito Halls, the new hilltop dorms on campus. It got some of us thinking, what's it like to live in a brand new building? Reporter Presley Davis asked some new residents.
Have you ever been the first person to live inside an apartment building? What about a new dorm? We talked to some students here at Texas State who are the first to live in one of the new halls. Here's what they had to say. Newly opened Alamito and Cibolo Hall sits atop the hill that overlooks the campus bus loop on North LBJ. Alamito welcomes new students to Texas State with a total of 505 twin beds. Some of the new residents of Alamito Hall stopped to tell us some of their favorite features as well as the process they went through to secure their spot in the new hall.
I really like that it's a new hall. I think that's kind of fun, just because the bathrooms aren't like super nasty, because we're the first ones to go here, and I just like, the upcoming culture of the hall as well.
Probably the fact that everyone here seems to have a real connection with everyone in their hall. At least I do. All my friends are in my hall, so it's really nice to feel connected in that way. We all meet in the lobby and stuff. It's nice.
What about features-wise? Like, what would be your favorite feature of the hall?
The fact that we have built-in TVs into the lobbies. It's really nice.
Right after cutting the ribbon, Texas State President Kelly Damphus spoke about the new dorms and the importance of it for our new and future incoming freshman classes.
Part of the impactful college experience we have is living on our beautiful San Marcos campus, and this groundbreaking ribbon cutting represents the first stage of our plan to increase the capacity for students to live on campus for all the reasons that Dr. Hernandez mentioned. And with the addition of Alamito and Cibolo Hall and the 2 apartment complexes we acquired adjacent to campus, we have now increased the number of beds from the year I got here from 6,800 beds to now 9,000 beds on campus, but we're not done yet.
Hey Luciana, do you like to work with cameras or maybe fly drones?
Heck yeah, I love all that stuff.
Well, then you might want to join one of our student media clubs. There are a bunch.
Speaking of clubs, there are a lot of club sports on campus. We'll take you to the sideline, and later...
It's Annabelle Elliott here with Bobcat Update. Did you know that San Marcos is home to one of the longest running songwriters nights in history? Let's head into Cheatham Street Warehouse to check it out.
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know. It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
There are a ton of active clubs on campus, but did you know that there are clubs related to what we do here on Bobcat Update? Reporter Kelly Couget checked out a few student organizations here in the School of Journalism and Mass Communication.
Old Main is home to many clubs and communities for students of all paths, with a job to help develop and hone the skills for the future of our Bobcats in media.
By being involved in these orgs, a lot of times, and especially with like SPJ, we're bridging the gap between being in the university and then getting to the real professional world afterwards. And also there's a huge benefit to finding community when you're in college.
Because I feel like that's one where you find that community of students who are doing the same thing as you. And 2, it's another thing on the resume that makes you look good. So why not do that? I also think, at least with SPJ, for example, like, it's genuinely helped us so much in our careers. So while the word clubs can sometimes seem trivial, I promise they're very important.
Of course, these clubs aren't exclusive to those in the School of Journalism and Mass Communication. They are open to anybody who wants to join and learn new skills or find new friendships and connections.
Really, that's kind of where my growth started. Where I got better, I was practicing more, I was meeting other people who were similar to me and doing similar stuff like that, and I was learning from them as well. And so that's why I really wanted students to kind of have that place to grow within each other and make friendships like that, and like talk and do projects together and really learn from each other.
One way that you can kind of prioritize yourself within your college experience is by getting involved and making friends and finding people who want to do what you want to do after college. And honestly, that's probably also how you're going to end up getting your job after college and just feeling holistically connected is by getting involved.
But I think that there's a lot of value in kind of finding that niche group of like-minded individuals. And most of the time, like, if y'all are both sharing similar skills and interests, then you're probably going to get along with that person, right? And so I find that there's a lot of value in that and building those friendships with people who you're probably most likely going to get along with.
Organizations like the Society of Professional Journalists, or College Broadcasters Incorporated, serve to open the floor for students to make connections and learn in the field from professionals. Organizations such as the Innovations Club or the new Photo and Video Club are more tech-focused and go hands-on to understand how the angle, frames, or photos could make or break your vision. There is much more to explore, so if an organization catches your eye, make sure to check it out. This has been Kelly Guge with Bobcat Matters.
Texas State club sports come in all shapes and sizes. There are some big guys like Texas State Rugby. By the way, they started the season with 5 straight wins. Way to go! We caught up with the Texas State gymnastics team to literally see what they're up to.
High-impact sports and women's sports are on the rise, and Texas State is no stranger to these. The Student Health Center on Thorpe Lane, dedicated to sports medicine, receives its fair share of Texas State athletes. But this story doesn't focus on injuries. Here are Texas State clubs that know exactly how to get knocked down and right back up again. Some of the oldest clubs Texas State has to offer, rugby and gymnastics, have withstood their fair share of falls and injuries, but they say the fallbacks are all a part of the process.
But you did it wrong, because, I mean, every attempt is a new lesson. No matter if you did it right or did it wrong, you can always improve.
Watching a practice, you can tell there's no judgment. Not only do athletes come to practice ready for some hard hits, they're ready to help each other learn. With no coaches around, members can be seen giving tough advice and a helping hand. Whether you're falling in rugby from a brutal tackle or gymnastics from the high bar, Gymnastics Club President Morgan Kessler has some advice.
So it's taking the time to rest, making sure you're icing, doing physical therapy, stuff like that, or just taking time for your mental health too. A lot of the times when you're not in the right headspace, it can really affect your gymnastics as well, and just anything you do in life. So taking time for yourself, resting up, and making sure you're healthy and ready to go in the gym.
Whether it's getting back up after that tackle or trying again after a scary fell, there's something we can learn from these college athletes. And if these sports are up your alley, you can join at any time, and all levels are welcome. Until next time, I'm Michaela Langston with the Bobcat Update.
Like our club teams, practice makes perfect. And that's exactly what the next generation of songwriters at Cheatham Street Warehouse are up to.
Sitting down at the weekly songwriter circle, creating lyrics to songs that may just be your next favorites. Reporter Annabelle Elliott was in tune and on the scene.
It's Annabelle Elliott, and we're here at Kent Finley's Songwriter Night at Cheatham Street. Let's go hear some songs.
San Marcos is the home to one of Texas's longest-running songwriters circles. Cheatham Street Warehouse has helped establish many well-known singer-songwriters since 1974. Kent Finley leased the warehouse in 1974. Kent, who is also a songwriter, worked to preserve the songwriters' tradition. Missoula now manages the Wednesday night songwriter circle.
I'd say it's magic every night, because it is. I mean, there's been nights here where I've just been moved to tears listening to some of these great writers. Some of them grew up to be bartenders. Some of them grew up to be, songwriters and artists.
The songwriters circle evolved into a regular part of the culture of the bar. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m., songwriters from Central Texas make their way into the dimly lit historic Cheatham Street Warehouse, most carrying guitars on their backs and lyrics in their minds. Hank Weaver is a songwriter and a bartender. He's been coming here because he heard that anyone who wrote a song could get on stage.
San Marcos is a very diverse music scene. There's a lot of, especially with the university in town, there's a lot of people that do music from all different types of genres. But I think the songwriting aspect of it always revolves around Cheatham Street.
Big-name songwriters have graced the stage of Cheatham Street Warehouse. Jameson Edelman now plays in venues across Central Texas. He comes back as often as he can.
Most of my personal process is finishing the song outside of Cheatham Street and kind of coming in and having a cool collaborative group think with all my friends. There's a lot of really good resources at Cheatham Street. You get a lot of positive reinforcement and constructive criticism, not only from people who are here, but also your friends.
Texas State professors Greg Andrew and Vicki Brynam purchased it in 2006 to prevent it from being bulldozed. The Cheatham Street Music Foundation was created and purchased the building in 2006. Sign-ups at 8, singing at 9. Cheatham Street is free and open to everyone in the community. This is Annabelle Elliott reporting in San Marcos.
Whoa, catchy stuff, Annabelle. She's the best, right?
She is.
Well, that's all we have for today's edition of Bobcat Update.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon.